In this week's video, we drive a talking Citroen.
Here are a few pieces of advice I can give you.
Jamie buys some cars and I eat a sandwich.
So, with a view to going to auction tomorrow, I'm now bringing up a list of what's going through this particular sale. There's 135 cars going through this sale tomorrow. So what I'll do now is, I'll scroll through, I'll look at the car, I will key its registration number and mileage into Auto Trader. Auto Trader will tell me what I can sell it for, and I'll write that information on my piece of paper. Therefore, when I go to auction tomorrow, I know what I can sell something for, therefore I'm armed and I'm ready. The sale I go to has normally got 210 cars. I'll go with 60, sometimes 70 cars researched that I think would fit our site, and then I know what I can pay. So it means if I miss 50, I've still got 20 I can buy, you know. Yeah. But that's a good example there. Number 5, it's a 3008. It's an automatic, so it's like a you know, kind of MPV-ish car. So I'll look at the reg, so SE17 DLU. I'll whack that straight into Auto Trader. DLU, search for vehicle. Auto Trader retails 14,215. So looking at a cap value of 10.7. It's lot number 5, so I'll write lot 5. It's quite simple. It's a pug. So you're grading of 1 being perfect, 5 being terrible. It's a grade 4 car. That tells me it's going to be nice enough for us, but it will want a few little repairs doing on it. You can click into an assured report. So entertainment system powers up. It's got requires attention. So it's something I can look at while I'm there. It's probably just not got an SD card or something like that. 14,215. So I'll put 14,215 and I'll put there. I'll put the cap price in, which is 10.7, I think it was, wasn't it? And then I'll look at that 14,215. So I'm probably going to want to pitch that car at, say, 13,995 or 13,895. So at 10.7, I'm going to pay fees of about £400. That's going to come to me at 11.1, and I can retail it at 13.8. So in my mind, I'm going to want to probably pay 10.3, 10.4 for that car. That's going to give me £3,000 start and be able to price the car competitively.
It feels to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, that if you've got the £3,000 margin across it, you're pretty happy to buy anything. Like, buy anything, I mean stuff that you know you're comfortable with.
Yes. It's enough to... It's enough. It's funny because we used to work for 2. Like 2 was that was the benchmark. You'd pay 8, you'd put it on at 10. And as I say, over the last 3 years, it's moved. Now, I don't know if it's just moved for us or if it's moved for everybody, but I think cost of fuel, lighting, sites, everything's gone up. So I do believe dealers need to work for bigger margin. £2,000 less the VAT becomes, say, 1650, less 150 advertising, 1,500 quid. Less mechanical prep could be 500-600. You're selling a £2,000 margin to take home 500, 700 quid.
So will you go through every single one of these 100 and something old cars that are
well, right. Mocha, 1.6 petrol Mocha. Do you know what? We sold the last one quickly. I can already see pretty much a £3,000 start. So if you can get a £3,000 start on a £4,500 investment, you know, that's quite good. You know, so SJ65YXU. So SJ65. The other thing you need to do at auction is look at the vendor and look at the vehicle. So would Arnold Clark, who this car is coming from, sell a 65 plate car? That's an 8-year-old car. I don't think Arnold Clark would probably sell an 8-year-old car, so I'm not suspicious about that vehicle. If that was a 2-year-old Mocha done 24 and Arnold Clark are selling it, you'd think... So I'll scroll through this. Some of this stuff is not ideal, but like that Mocha, okay, I'd buy it. But you know, if I go with 50 cars and I'm getting outbid on everything, I can fall back on the Mocha because I'm like, well, you know what? Oh, Polo GTI. It is red. I'm breaking all my rules here, but it's a GTI. Yeah, that's a car key car. I would, you know, if you looked at a car here, it's a car key car. So again, R66 VWV. So there we go, 11,253. But yeah, I'll try and buy that for, say, 7.5 or 7,700 quid.
So the trade value there is your max.
So cap, I'm writing what cap is. so that when I'm there, I don't have to refer. Like if if retail was 14, cap was 8, I'd pay 10 grand, 10.5 grand. And the nice thing is a lot of people are afraid to pay well into book, because cap is the most important thing in the world. Cap actually is a guide, and you have to still be mindful of it, but Auto Trader retail to me is more important than what cap is.
What's the goal? What's the goal tomorrow? What does success look like when we leave the auction?
Okay, so success will look like buying a selection of vehicles that are interesting, unique, maybe a bit different to what we've got, that we can put strong margins across and have good profit out of.
And how many do we want?
I would like to think we can potentially buy 15 cars tomorrow. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. So I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. We'll have a nice time, guys.
Nice. Why don't we give this a go? Try ChatGPT, because it's obviously built into this DS. Let's ask it what advice it could give us when we go to a car auction and see whether it matches yours.
So what do I need to do?
You've got to just press that and then ask it a question.
What advice would you give a buyer heading to a car auction?
If you are heading to a car auction as a buyer, here are a few pieces of advice I can give you. 1. Do your research. Before attending the auction, research the cars that will be available and determine their market value.
Tick.
Yeah.
This will help you set a budget and avoid overpaying. Take the time to thoroughly inspect the cars you are interested in. Look for any signs of damage or mechanical issues. Attend a few auctions as an observer if you've never been to a car auction before. Remember, buying a car at an auction can be a great way to find a good deal, but it's important to approach it with caution and do your due diligence. Let me know if there is anything else I can assist you with.
I mean, apart from the ridiculous voice, some of that was actually useful.
Absolutely unbelievable. That is unbelievable. I mean, the only other thing I'd say is get friendly with the auctioneer so they can tip you off if the car's a bad one.
When it comes to going to auctions, I mean, I find it quite nerve-wracking. I mean, I know you've done some pre-prep and that is important, but it's so rapid and quick and there's no comeback.
Because I think the public's perception is that there's loads of bad cars put into auction, and there's always going to be the odd one with a problem, but I don't worry about it. Maybe I've just become desensitised to it. You're absolutely right about the nerves, though. When I first went to auctions, I was papping myself. Like one thing, I didn't want to look like an idiot in front of people who've clearly done this before, and you do have that, you're worried, you feel self-conscious. Is everyone looking at me? And I think as you get more experience and older, you realise that people aren't looking at you, Jamie. They've got all their own shit going on in their own minds and their heads. Just go and buy some cars.
I know we've touched on this already, but you buy cars from big auctions like this because you can buy in bulk, have them delivered in bulk, and it's all sort of wrapped up. The likes of Motorway, CarWow and similar sites like that is hard work, I suppose, for someone who needs to buy so much.
Absolutely. Yeah, the ease and convenience of turning up, buying a load of cars, knowing when I've got to pay for them by, and a truck arriving at work within a week with all those cars and all the documents is worth massive amounts to us. Too much money, that is, for me. I think it's got an issue with the head unit. It's rough, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wants to be cheap. It's got rotten arch. It's got rot on the other side. I just don't want to buy work. I've got two, look, you see the arch is rotten as well. It's got rear suspension fault. It's got 7 seats, which is a very desirable option, but you don't know unless you look. So, but it's got mega retail. Took retails at 12.5. Too much. Too much. 85. So with fees, it's going to be best part of 9 grand.
And then you've got to sort that out. And it's gone.
Yeah. Paint.
Oh God, yeah.
Fucking hell. It says unsafe to drive. Sorry. It's probably been whacked on it, and it's probably. That is. Yeah, they look like they've been painted with a fucking yard brush. Yes. It's not factory. I would suggest it's not a factory finish, that, John. It's got really big retail compared to trade. They might put someone off. We could always repaint them. I love buying cars, man.
You do love buying cars.
I love buying cars, man. It's my favourite time of the week. And you get to chew the fat with fellow traders, you're out the office, kind of forget about what's going on, and then, yeah, when you nick a car, it's the best feeling in the world, isn't it? Best feeling. Best feeling. Tuesday buddies, man. That's it. That's it.
Very smelly in here. Very smelly. I mean, if you haven't got a headache now, you will definitely have a headache by the time you go home. John, come and have a look at this. Beautiful 64 plate Audi S1. There are a few issues. There is a little bit of rust. Look here. Here, and here. Some rust here, and all the way here. There is other patches of rust, but I won't talk you through all of those. These exhausts that look like they've been in a barbecue for quite a long period of time. I'm trying to walk normally.
Fancy a Baleno?
What's that? No thanks. Right, talk me through what you bought.
I think we've done really well. Nicked a Subaru.
Yeah.
Mini's gone provisional, but I think we'll own it.
Yeah.
Paid a bit too much for the Freelander, maybe the Golf. I think I've burgled the 2 Mazdas.
Do you know what I've really learned today is just, I've seen the risks now that are involved in some of these things. Like
Yes.
some of the stuff that we were looking at the list before.
Yeah.
You didn't see the problems until you actually
No.
saw in the Hall. You know, like that X5 with a
Yes.
sunken suspension.
Yes.
There were some other cars that had some problems that I wouldn't have seen beforehand. You
No.
wouldn't have seen in the picture. So it's vital to be here, isn't it?
Yeah, so I've always maintained I will not buy cars online. I won't buy cars blind because, you know, the difference between spotting an issue like that or not could be the amount of time it's going to take you to sell. So if you buy a car with a problem, you've got to deal with that problem before you can even sell that car. So, no, absolutely, I have to see cars. And this is why the big auction group who decided to go online, I just don't think it's going to work long term. And I think they've already sampled having a live sale again.
Yeah.
Plus, you get to have the crack with people that you wouldn't necessarily
I can see you really do enjoy doing it here.
I absolutely love being at auction, and coming here today, having not been here for a while, has been great. Yeah, so you see some good people, and it's fun, and it gets you out of the office.
Well, I appreciate you showing me.
Not a problem, sir.
Thank you.
I've enjoyed it, man.
Thank you so much.
Brilliant.
So this is the end of the auction, and all that's left here in the auction hall is some cars that are too broken to move. And you know what, I know how that feels. I've had a hell of a 2 days with Jamie. I've learned a huge amount from his team. I've spoken to my first customer, nearly got my first deal over the line, and I've picked up some fantastic tips and tricks of the trade. ChatGPT has helped. I've even shown Jamie how he can use it to help improve the efficiency of his business. And do you know what? I've learned the risks that are involved in running a used car business. Buying cars at this level is risky, but if you do it correctly, there's some great profits to be had and there's a good business there to be run. So I'm really looking forward to putting what I've learned over the last few days into practice, but with the help of AI. Hello, I'm James from the Clever Car Collection, and I'm here to present you this, our smart 4.2 Brabus 2017 Skoda Citigo, Nissan Qashqai. Ow, that was my head.